What's up, y'all? It's me, Daria, and we're here for week 1 of PPL. This week we got 1Z Banette. So I had to beat 1Z Eevee just for today. It's just a today thing. But still, look how fucking cute. 1Z Eevee. Alright, anyways. Let's talk about our matchup here. First, we'll go over 1Z's team, the Solihull Skarmoors. I hope I got that right. I probably butchered it, but whatever. He has an Ogerpon, Zapdos, Archaludon. Yeah, let's go with that. Clodsire, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Talonflame, Politoed, Whimsicott, Basculegion, Morpeko, Golduck, and Baratek. So it's a rain team. And Archaludon is a thing that is absolutely fucking terrifying. This thing is an absolute threat in the rain, and I am just like hoping that I have what I need to deal with this thing. Ogerpon can be any kind of Ogerpon, so it can be like Wellspring and be water absorbed, so it can make my, it could potentially make my Palafin less effective. And also Clodsire is water absorbed, so like Palafin doesn't just go in against this team. I'm gonna have to do some work, even though it's a rain team, which is crazy because you would think, if you're going into a rain team as a Palafin user, you're gonna have a good time, but I actually think this is not a great matchup for it. We're bringing it anyways because it's rain. I have to bring Palafin, but this team is terrifying. I mean, Urshifu Rapid Strike. There's so many threats. Golduck and Baratek both can take advantage of the rain, and they're both Terra captains. Like this team is terrifying. This team is absolutely fucking terrifying. So let's talk about what I have for the match. So here's what we got. First thing, Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt does look really good in this team. Draco Meteor, Thunderclap, Hyper Voice can hit everything. Really, the thing that wants to come in on this is like a Whimsicott. And Hyper Voice does decent damage, and it prevents the Whimsicott from being able to like set up a substitute on us and do like an annoying sub-leech seed set. So this Pokemon does really well. We have Roselia Berry, so we can maybe catch an Ogerpon off guard trying to hit us with like a Play Rough, and we just get huge damage off after living a Play Rough. So yeah, that's what we're doing with Raging Bolt this week. Second, we have Quagsire. Quagsire is here for water absorb. I'm going into a rain team. This does some stuff for me. It can switch in on a Ogerpon Wellspring and eat a potential Ivy Cudgel that's boosted by rain, and then bait a grass attack with Rindo and counter. Now we can also click an Encore, which is what I think is more likely. If we've revealed that we're water absorb, I think we always click Encore because we don't want to be set up fodder for the Ogerpon. So he might think that we're counter, because we are counter. He might think counter Rindo and try to set up on us, and we can just Encore lock it. Like, that's fine. That's okay. And then we can go free and Raging Bolt, get big damage off on something. Also, Toxic lets us be annoying, and EQ is good for damage on things like Archaludon. Next, Noctowl. Noctowl is going to be one of our biggest win cons for this battle. It'll be, I mean, Tinted Lens is great. I really wanted to run choice specs on this thing, but just I needed the speed. I couldn't have Archaludon. I was speeding everything naturally. It was a huge problem for me in scrims. Just a tremendous issue for me in scrims. So having the Noctowl here to come out and just revenge things with Hurricanes that won't miss. Tinted Lens is going to make it so that nothing can switch in on this. Like, he's going to have to rely on Clodsire to switch in on this, and if he does that, then my Palafin breaks much easier, or just wins potentially. And speaking of Palafin, we have Bulk Up with Aura Sphere, Zen Headbutt, and Jet Punch. We actually have a mixed set. I went back and forth a lot between Jet Punch and Wave Crash. I just need the Life Orb damage, and I just feel like that's too much recoil. So this is what I thought was going to be best for us in this matchup. Aura Sphere allows us to ignore stamina boost on the Archaludon, and then +1 Zen Headbutt can just potentially kill a Clodsire. So that is that's why we have this set. And then the bottom two, we have our Assault Vest, our Assault Vest friends, Slowbro, which was actually like this mod, like This is kind of going to be the X factor for this match. If we could get like 1 or 2 quick draws to pop, like 1 quick draw in a dire situation could just completely change the complex of this matchup for us. This Slowbro has a chance to be an absolute menace. It would be really cool if we got to show it off. So fingers crossed that'll work out. And then I did have Crest in this last Zarude slot, but I felt like it was too passive. I thought Zarude brought me more offensive pressure. And things like, I mean, Power Whip, knock off, close combat hits everything. Also U-turn. Like, the only thing this doesn't hit that hard is like Whimsicott, but we can still U-turn for chips. So, you know, like U-turn into Noctowl and like click Hurricane or something. So, yeah, that's this team. Good luck to Onesie Banette, and I'm really, really excited for this week 1 matchup. And it looks like we're ready to go. So good luck, have fun, Onesie. This should be great. This should be a fun battle either way. I'm terrified. Let's see what we got. No Archaludon. Oh my god. Okay, well now I'm just gonna get dunked on by Urshi. I just gotta try not to get dunked on by Urshi. Basculegion is super, super problematic for my team. It's part of the reason why I went and added Zarude instead of Crest. However, with Crest gone, now we don't have a close combat switch in really, except for like our Galarian Slowbro, but that's not why that's here. So these close combats are kind of free. Okay, we'll lead with Demon, so we can just get Big Finn, because Little Finn is a problem. Always nervous first game. If you couldn't tell from the team builder, I'm sure I sounded like a nervous mess or whatever. He just leads with it. He just immediately goes into this. Okay, well, I think I go into this now, because part of the reason this was here was for Arch. Arch isn't even here. I can't just let him click close combat, so I just go into Slowbro. He subs. Okay. So this is a subset. Interesting. No lefties pop, so he's just gonna click. He can't kill me unless... Yeah, I don't think he can kill me here. Yeah, no. So I get to break the sub, which is good. Well, here's a chance that we can get like quick draw to pop and just get a psychic off here, unless he clicks Aqua Jet, but then he has to show us that he has Aqua Jet. So I'm okay with just clicking Psychic here and hoping we get the quick draw. At least this lets Noctowl in if I don't get the quick draw. And then I do get the quick draw. Do I just kill this? Come on. Come on. Let's go. Oh my god. I love this thing. That's why we brought this. That's why we brought this. Yo, this thing is so fun. Now, honestly, massive fucking threat gone. Massive fucking threat off the board immediately. Okay, so here comes the Politoed. So I can't leave this in. This can still come in and outspeed Clodsire and get big damage off. So I think now I go Zarude. We're AV, so unless he's like, I don't think he can kill us in any world. Okay, yeah, we eat this. We eat this up. Power Whip is not free as much as I would like to believe it is. U-turn is honestly like sketch because of Zapdos. But what if I just go... I'm gonna U-turn. I'm gonna go U-turn. If he shows me that Zapdos is the switch in for this, which it almost certainly is. Alright, just no static on this turn, please. And now we know what his switch in is. He gets the static. Okay, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. We got a quick draw. He gets a static. That's fair. Yeah, I gotta go into this. And I think I got a Volt Switch. Yeah, I slow Volt Switch into the, Noctowl. Alright, so they Volt Switch, probably into Clodsire, I would imagine. Hey y'all, so some week 1 struggles here. I ran out of disk space on my computer mid-battle. Didn't realize it because I was running calcs furiously and just super into the battle. Lost the middle like 10 minutes. I got like the last 1 minute and obviously like the first 7 minutes plus the team builder. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just talk about the battle with y'all here. I'm really sorry that this is the way I am ending up having to do this. This will not be the case for all my future videos. They'll all be live reactions. Really, really sorry about this. Thank you, Onesie Banat, for sending over your perspective so I could do this. So we will be watching like the next 10-15 minutes of this battle, whatever, from his perspective, until, you know, the last couple minutes where I have my perspective again. After a lot of deliberation, I decided to just click Volt Switch. I do know that, like, obviously Clodsire is the obvious switch in for this, but I want to see what his switches are. I want to scout that out before I just start making hard reads. I could have just clicked Draco Meteor here, sure, and just got big damage off on something, but you know, I thought maybe I could try to steal some momentum. Maybe he goes into like Ogerpon or something, or maybe he leaves the Zapdos out for some reason. I don't know what reason that would be, but anyways, he switches into this, blocks my Volt Switch. So I am trying to figure out, you know, what do I go into here? In scrims, my switch-in was pretty much always Palafin. So that's what I go into. I go ahead and go into Palafin on this. We eat the poison jab, no problem, no poison. I know this thing's water absorbed. That's all I saw in scrims, was this thing being water absorbed. I know there's no way you brought Unaware. So I just go ahead and click Bulk Up. I just go ahead and just click Bulk Up right in this thing's face. Not, you know, probably not the best play. I probably should have just clicked Zen Headbutt for damage. But I do click Bulk Up, which lets this thing in for free, which is fucking terrifying. Honestly, kind of a big mistake. So now I'm kind of scared. I'm like, all right, what do I do? You know, I can't let this thing, you know, start setting up. This could get out of hand. Now I do have my Quagsire that is in the back, but my Quagsire can't live like a +2 Horn Leech or Power Whip. It can live a +2 Trailblaze, but you know, not like a Horn Leech or Power Whip. So I'm kind of freaking out. I'm not exactly sure what I should do in this position. But if he does click Trailblaze, then I'm in really big trouble. So what I decided to do is try to like make somewhat of a middle ground play, go into Problematique, and hope that maybe I can get another quick draw kill. You know, that'd be pretty sick, right? And at the in worst case scenario, like, it's just, he can't Swords Dance into Trailblaze this thing. Trailblaze does not kill me from here. So it forces him to click the kill button, and that gives me a 30% chance to kill him. But I don't get it. He does pick up the kill on my Galarian Slowbro, and now I just go hard into Quag. So here's the thing. I live a +2 Trailblaze. I don't live a +2 Horn Leech or a +2 Power Whip. But he's gonna think I'm Focus Sash. He's gonna think I'm Focus Sash all day. But part of me is still hoping that he just clicks Trailblaze. Part of me is hoping that he just clicks Trailblaze. He gets greedy. So I think maybe going into Quagsire, it becomes obvious that I have some kind of shenanigans going on here. But I'm hoping that he gets greedy and he clicks Trailblaze, so I just click Counter to try and just catch the Trailblaze. And I'm just really, really hoping that he bites on that. I'm not sure the best way to do these when we're like watching from my opponent's perspective. And y'all see, because y'all see now that he has the Horn Leech. He doesn't even have Trailblaze. He doesn't even have Trailblaze. And if he just clicks Horn Leech here, my Quagsire is dead. He's got to be thinking that I'm Sash. He's got to be thinking that I'm Sash because he's terrified to click that button. And he knows that I'm clicking Counter. So, I don't know. I probably should have took this opportunity to like do something else because the counter is probably a little too obvious. But now he's seen the tech. Now he sees the counter go off. He makes the smart switch. He makes the safe play. He would have killed me anyways. But doesn't matter. Here we are. Now I'm here in front of this thing. I'm pretty sure on this turn though I just clicked Toxic. I've revealed now that I have counter. He's not gonna fall for that. But yeah, I just clicked Toxic here. Even if he like Hurricanes on me or something, I like the idea of getting a Toxic on Zapdos. And getting a Toxic on this is fine too, because this thing's kind of bulky and annoying. So the chip damage is really helpful. This thing isn't like super threatening to my team. So this allows me to pivot into something that's a little more offensive, a little more aggressive, and apply a little bit more pressure. He doesn't want to click Hydro Pump in case I am Water Absorb, which I am. I'm Water Absorb Rindo. So he clicks Ice Beam, which, or no, doesn't he click? Yeah, he does click Ice Beam, which my Zarude eats, no problem. I think Paralyze, I'm still faster than this thing. And this Zarude, like, okay, so it didn't get a ton of kills this week, but like, I feel like it did its job well. It allowed me to apply some offensive pressure where I needed it and get some momentum where I needed it as well. I know that his switch into this thing now from earlier in this match is Zapdos. So I expect him to go Zapdos here again. And I decided to just click Knockoff and just get big damage on whatever comes in. Even if he doesn't go Zapdos, like a Knockoff is a pretty safe play. I guess it gives him a free in to Ogerpon because Knockoff and Ogerpon isn't great, but it hits everything else pretty hard, and I don't think he goes Ogerpon on a potential U-turn. Actually, seeing this from his perspective is kind of funny. He thought real hard about this. So we see that he does go Zapdos. So the Knockoff is going to get some pretty good damage here. We're also going to see that he's Boots. That's fine. That we didn't even set up rocks in this game, so that's whatever. I'm pretty sure I go back into Raging Bolt here. I don't think I U-turn. He gets the free roost, which is fine. We saw him go Clodsire last time, right? This is always a switch. So we just click Draco, get some big damage off on this thing. Like, that's still fucking damage. Like, oh my god. Raging Bolt's so good. So good. So I think here I'm like, all right, I am almost 90% sure you're Water Absorb, but there's a chance you're unaware. So I'm gonna Draco again and find out. I'm gonna find out if you're unaware, or I'm gonna find out if you're Water Absorb right now for sure. So I click Draco again, we miss, which sucks because now he gets all of his health back. He's back up to full after this with Black Sludge. Even if it lands, we don't kill, but we're still like, he's still lower health. We still gotta switch out, but I think it maybe forces him to think about clicking Recover again. Instead, what happens is we go into Palafin again here because we're -2 and we can't do anything to this. He knows my switch into this is Palafin, so this allows him to click Poison Jab for free again. So once again, we're risking that poison chance. So we do go into Palafin, Poison Jab comes out, and he gets the poison. So, you know, I can't even complain about hacks. We got a quick draw. We got a quick draw Psychic to kill the Urshifu, and honestly, that completely changed the complexion of the game. So I cannot be upset, especially because I click Zen Headbutt on this turn and get a fucking flinch, as you see here, which is pretty insane because he clicked Curse on that turn. So instead of him going +1 attack and defense, he's just in a bad spot. I decided to just click Zen Headbutt again because it either kills this or gets big damage off on the Ogerpon. So he goes actually into the Politoed, not the Ogerpon, which in hindsight I am kind of surprised about. I guess not, because he's seen the Zen Headbutt. He knows Zen Headbutt's coming out. He can't afford to take chip on Ogerpon. I know it's Water Absorb, so there's no reason for me to click Water Move. So I guess Politoed's always the switch there. Palafin into Rain, no kills. Can you believe it? That's crazy. Anyways, Noctowl is fucking in. Let's go. The absolute threat has arrived. Noctowl making its debut in all of its glory, and we're scarfed. We got Tera Flying Hurricane with Tinted Lens. Rain is up. We're feeling real good. Something is going to die. It's basically pick your sack at this point. He decides to go into the Zapdos. That's not a switch in. That's not a switch into Tinted Lens Terrifying Hurricane. We do 1,000,000 damage to this thing. 1,000,000 damage. It's glorious. Like, seeing Hurricane do this much to Zapdos is bizarre. It's really strange. And it makes me feel so good inside because it's a Noctowl. Y'all. Look at that damage. Oh my god, it's glorious. It's glorious. He doesn't know we're Scarf yet. He doesn't know we're Scarf. I guess he could assume that we're Scarf, but he doesn't know that we're Scarf. He knows now that his Zapdos is dead. And now that he's like, shit, this thing is terrifying. I brought Rain and a terrifying Noctowl. What was I thinking? No, that's that's fair. I mean, this is a really scary rain team. This play I thought was kind of strange. I talked to him after the game to get some clarification. I always expected him to go right into Basculegion here. Just because it outspeeds me in rain because of Swift Swim. Assuming it's not adaptability. It's a rain team, it's going to be Swift Swim. It always outspeeds me, and like, I know Noctowl is especially bulky, but like, you gotta, everything else just dies to this. Everything else just dies to this. Like, you can't, this isn't going to live, friend. This is, I know that's a Clodsire, but this is a terrifying Noctowl. I was convinced this was always killing. I was never not clicking Hurricane in front of this thing. The only time I was ever switching this out is if the Basculegion came out and he went into Clodsire, and I was like, I will take another kill. I am okay with that. And just like that, Noctowl has 2 kills. Amazing. This Pokemon, honestly, I'm so happy this thing's on my team. This was my low tier pick, and honestly, it was my best Pokemon in week 1. So now the threat is in on his end. This thing is fucking terrifying. I know it outspeeds me, and I never saw the Lady Basculegion in scrims. I only saw the physical one, so I just wasn't exactly sure how I should go about dealing with this thing. In retrospect, I probably could have left this out because it has enough special bulk to eat one and then get the Hurricane off for big damage. But instead I go into Quag because I guess like Quag's deal is like basically up at this point. Like, I brought Quag for the Ogerpon and for Basculegion, but for like physical Basculegion. And he knows that I'm counter now, and either Sash or Rindo, so he never clicks like a Ogerpon move into me. So I decide that I don't need Quag anymore. I could just sack off the Quag, stall out some rain turns, and then go into Raging Bolt, who threatens this thing out because of Thunderclap. And now I'm kind of looking at this team and I'm realizing Noctowl Raging Bolt should just win, right? I go Zarude here. Ooh, oh, okay. So my reasoning for going Zarude here. This thing is not yet in Thunderclap range. Okay, so here's the thing. I have Power Whip, which I'm afraid to click because it can miss. I think I just decided to knock off, which knocking off into Ogerpon was objectively a bad play. I think I always should have gone for momentum there, or just went ahead and just clicked the big damage move to punish the Ogerpon switch in a little bit better. Instead, I just click knockoff and I don't get nearly enough damage off on this thing. I'm terrified of a Trailblaze coming out now, because if he does pack Trailblaze and he clicks Trailblaze here, I'm in really bad shape. So I'm like, I can't just let this thing like Trailblaze in my face. I gotta just click a kill button, and he decides to just like, I still don't know he doesn't have Trailblaze. He just clicks Play Rough. My Zarude's dead now. Things are looking a little more spooky. He knows I'm Scarf. He knows I outspeed this thing. I'm afraid to click Hurricane because the rain's not up, so I click Terra Blast, which, you know, I brought over Air Slash because it can't miss. Maybe I should have clicked Hurricane there. Maybe the switch into Politoed was obvious, but I was just really afraid of him staying out there, me clicking Hurricane, missing, and then my bird dying. Either way, Noctowl has 3 kills now. Amazing game for Noctowl. Amazing week 1 for Noctowl. I'm out in front of this thing. I can't afford to keep switching around. I know this thing is specs and whatever it clicks is going to do a ton of damage to me, but I just gotta stay out. I gotta click Terra Blast again, and I gotta get some damage off on this thing so it's in range of Thunderclap. Like, that's my only play. So that's what I do. We live a single Ice Beam because Noctowl is an amazing Pokemon. We get this thing in range of Thunderclap, and Noctowl has more than done its job. Noctowl has more than done its job. Bravo, Noctowl. You were fantastic this week. No matter how poorly I played down the stretch, you did your job as well as you could have. We're left with Raging Bolt versus the world. So I just clicked Thunderclap here. He can get cute and swap into Ogerpon if he really wants to. The way I see it, like, I know your specs. He doesn't know I'm Roselli Berry, so I can't afford to let this thing take damage and be in range of dying through the Rosilli Berry. So I always have to click Thunderclap here. He's thinking real hard about being cute here though. Instead he decides to click the button and I just Thunderclap, kills fish. And now it's time for Thunderclap Swords Dance Mind Games. Buckle in, y'all. For those who are new to this meta, who don't understand what is happening here, I'll break it down after this play. First of all, I have Rosilli Berry. He doesn't know I have Rosilli Berry. I know that this thing is not in range of Thunderclap yet. So instead of allowing him to set up, I just click Volt Switch to get guaranteed damage. So I click the Volt Switch button. I get my big damage off. I could have clicked Draco there and just killed, but I was afraid of clicking the move that could miss. Another play rough, honestly, in watching this over again, I may have lived another play rough. I may have made this way more complicated, like I was trying to throw. I may have lived another play rough, but I was terrified of a crit. I didn't want to leave it up to chance. I wanted fate to be in my own hands. I wanted to make the read. And for those who don't understand what's happening right now, Thunderclap is Raging Bolt's signature move, which is an electric type Sucker Punch that hits specially. It is a priority move that only goes off if your opponent clicks a physical attacking move. So as long as he clicks Swords Dance, my Thunderclap cannot do anything. It just fails. So what we find ourselves in here is a mind game where he needs to predict when I am going to click a different button aside from Thunderclap, and I need to predict when he's going to click a different button aside from Swords Dance. And I only have 8 Thunderclaps, and I've already clicked Thunderclap 3 or 4 times up to this point. He's got 30 Swords Dances. He can just keep spamming that shit. Y'all, ran out of disk space on my computer. I don't know how much was missed. We've been doing the old Sucker Punch, Thunderclap mind games. I'm so upset that I don't know how much of that I didn't get recorded. That's very frustrating. All right, I'm hyper voicing here. Yeah! Let's go! Yeah, let's fucking go! Oh my god. Very good game. Very excited that's how we get to start a season, and looking forward to week 2. I'll catch y'all in the next one.